Welcome to the Intro to Excel course. In this video, we are going to review the SUM, SUMIF, and SUMIFS function. Let's get started. The SUM function is fairly versatile, and it's pretty straightforward. We are going to start with our equal sign indicating the formula. We're going to select SUM and hit Tab to get the function started. You can see in our column here, or up here in our viewer, that's the SUM function. Now, we can only summarize numbers. So if we select row 3 to 23, it's going to sum from 92 all the way down to 41 in our score. This would give us the total points earned over our 20-game season. We can see that we scored 1335 or 1,335 points this season. That's great. But let's say we wanted to filter that data a couple of different ways. Like, let's say we wanted to see the amount of points we earned at our home games for these 20 games. Well, we would use the SUMIF function, which allows us to sum data or to get the total of the numbers we're calculating, but only ones that are meeting our criteria or our filter. This function looks a little bit like this. We hit the equal as always to start our function. We hit SUMIF and then hit Tab to activate that searched for function. And the way this formula works is you first select the filter range or what you want filtered. And we're going to hit the home and away column here. And then we are going to select the criteria. Now we want the criteria to be the home games. So we want to sum if the points belong to a home game. Now you might be thinking, well, how do we know which points belong to which home game or which game? So that's where we're now going to select the sum range. The sum range is the comparison cells. Now what this means is that you need to make sure that your selected reference ranges, this B3 to B23 and D3 to D23, match each other. If those were off by one or two cells, you would get an error and your function wouldn't work. So we are going to sum only cells that have a home game in the filter column. And you can see we have 849 points in our home games. Awesome, right? But let's say we wanted to filter multiple things. Like for instance, we only wanted to sum the amount of points we earned at away games that were also wins. We're gonna hit equals, SUMIFS. Again, the SUMIFS function has an extra S at the end, and it's structured just a little bit differently. In this function, you actually select the sum range first. So we are going to select our points, just like we do, and be careful to make sure that your cell references match each other. That's something that sometimes people mess up, and then their formulas error, and they don't know why. We are then going to hit comma. Now, something I did fail to mention before, but the comma is the separator between all of our different arguments. So we select our first sum range, and now we're creating our first filtration argument. Now we're going to select the criteria range of game types. And then we're going to select our pre-inputted criteria 1 right here. You can see that falls under our criteria 1 box. Now, we could change that to home if we wanted to and see what the value is. By attaching it or referencing it to a cell, it allows us to change the formula later without getting into the formula itself. We'll show you that. The next criteria range we're going to select is whether or not it was a win or a loss. So we're going to select again right here the win and loss column, and we are going to select our criteria of the win or the criteria 2. As we hit enter, we'll see we had 334 points away that were win games. Now let's see how many points we had away when we lost. 152, significantly less. But we probably didn't have that many losses when we look at our data set. Using the SUM, SUMIF, and SUMIFS function is extremely valuable when working with different data sets. We'll be talking about that in another video, but just be always reminded that you need to use the proper function for the proper data set. If you don't, you might be whittling around trying to find the right arguments or the right functions or even aligning the data properly. And that can really take you a lot more time than just using the right function for the right problem. So, hope you like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.